Cronus' betrayal, the fall of Uranus and the curse of prophecy. In the vast realm of early creation, after the union of Gaia, Earth, and Uranus, Sky, had given birth to the first generation of powerful beings, turmoil began to stir. Uranus, once the loving and protective sky god, grew increasingly fearful and resentful of some of his children. While the 12 Titans flourished, Uranus could not bear the sight of his other offspring, the mighty Cyclopes and the monstrous Hecatoncheias, each with 100 hands and 50 heads. Disgusted by their appearance and fearful of their immense power, Uranus made a cruel decision. He forced the Cyclopes and the Hecatoncheias back into the depths of Gaia's womb, trapping them in the dark and suffocating prisons of the earth. Gaia, their mother, was horrified and enraged by the suffering of her children. She felt their agony inside her and the immense burden that Uranus had inflicted upon her. Desperate to end their torment, Gaia hatched a plan to overthrow Uranus and free her imprisoned children. Gaia turned to her Titan children for aid. She sought someone among them who would be bold enough to challenge their tyrannical father. But the task was daunting, for Uranus was a powerful and fearsome ruler, his presence enveloping the entire world. The Titans hesitated, afraid to confront their father, except for one, Cronus, the youngest of the Titans, who was ambitious and hungry for power. Cronus, cunning and determined, agreed to take on the task. Gaia, filled with hope, forged a great sickle from unbreakable stone and presented it to him. She gave him detailed instructions and a plan to catch Uranus off guard. With the weapon in hand, Cronus waited for the right moment to strike. One night, as Uranus descended from the sky to lay with Gaia, Cronus sprang into action. As his father approached, unaware of the plot against him, Cronus seized the sickle and, in a single swift and brutal motion, castrated Uranus. The sky god roared in pain, and blood poured from his wound, spilling across the heavens and down onto the earth. From the drops of Uranus' blood that fell to Gaia, new life was born. The Erinyes, also known as the Furies, spirits of vengeance, emerged from the blood, along with the powerful giants and the Melii, the nymphs of the ash trees. These beings were manifestations of the violent act that had just occurred, born from the brutal severance of the sky from the earth. Uranus, weakened and defeated, recoiled in pain and humiliation. As he retreated from Gaia and withdrew from his reign over the world, he cursed his son Cronus with his dying breath. He prophesied that just as Cronus had overthrown him, so too would Cronus be overthrown by one of his own children. This curse would haunt Cronus for the rest of his days, casting a dark shadow over his rule. With Uranus defeated, Cronus took the throne as the new ruler of the cosmos. He freed his Titan siblings and established a new order, ushering in what would later be known as the Golden Age, a time of peace and prosperity for the world. The Titans reigned supreme, and Cronus sat upon the highest seat of power, ruling with strength and authority. But the curse of Uranus weighed heavily on Cronus. He could not forget his father's prophecy that one of his own children would one day rise against him. Determined to avoid his father's fate, Cronus became paranoid and fearful. When his wife and sister, Rhea, began to bear him children, Cronus devised a terrible plan. Each time Rhea gave birth, Cronus would snatch the newborn child and swallow it whole. One by one, his children, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon, were consumed by their own father, imprisoned in the dark abyss of his stomach. Cronus believed that by devouring his offspring, he could prevent the prophecy from coming true and secure his reign for all eternity. But Rhea, heartbroken by the loss of her children, could not bear to lose another. When she became pregnant once more, this time with her youngest son, Zeus, she devised a plan of her own. With the help of Gaia, Rhea hid Zeus away in a cave on the island of Crete, far from Cronus' reach. She swaddled a stone in blankets and presented it to Cronus, who, without question, swallowed the stone, believing it to be his child. Thus, Zeus was spared, and as he grew older in secret, the stage was set for the eventual fulfillment of Uranus' curse. The time would come when Zeus would rise up against his father Cronus, just as Cronus had once risen against Uranus, and the cycle of divine power and rebellion would continue.